Welcome back to the Bullion Breakdown, guys. Thanks for joining. You see two queensbeast coins here. They're the 2-ounce variants. And I wanted to talk about that today because this is part of my failure to complete when it comes to the queensbeast. And it's a series that I ran out of some steam with, and I ultimately just stopped paying attention to it altogether. So today I wanted to talk about some of the dangers of starting but not going through with some of your commitments in silver, because I'm left here with a more than half incomplete set of coins that do have obvious value here. I'm not suggesting they don't have any value. However, I'm a little disappointed in myself because I've got just a mishmash of queensbeast coins that don't make any sense. So let's talk about that today, okay? So if I put this on my list of sort of mishaps as a silver stacker, I think I wanted to talk about three ways or three, strategies that you can use to avoid getting caught up in a situation like I have got myself caught up in with this series. So one is to really understand the plans for the series before you start investing in it. And that's something that I didn't do here. In this case, I knew this series was coming as a stacker. It had a lot of hype. It had a lot of stuff behind it, and it was exciting. I remember at the time, and all I knew is that I wanted a piece of the action when it was available in my market. So all good and everything, because these are fine pieces and they do carry a premium in the secondary market. Not a ton, but they do. They have done well, I guess, as a investment coin over the last 4 or 5 years. But what I didn't understand was the plans for the series, right? There was a release coming, at nausea every, couple of months. That's great, but it came in 10 ounces. It came in 5 ounces. It probably came in other sizes. I just turned the blinders off to that stuff by that point. But I didn't understand the level of commitment that I was going to have to put into this series to collect and get it all. And to be honest, I wasn't that enthusiastic about it after the first few purchases. And that's something that you should be evaluating as a stacker before you go and start investing in this. And that was the mistake. So that's tip number one. Understand the entire plans for the series before you start investing in it. The second thing you want to look at is the mintages, or at least the planned or expected mintages for each of these series that you want to invest in, because some have really high numbers and some have low. So if you're trying to project forward what may grow in value quicker or more aggressively over time, I would encourage you to look at the anticipated mintages coming out of the series that you're going to invest in, because that has a big difference in how you can approach a specific series and what you can invest in it. And then you have varying mintages inside of a series. The 10 ounce that you can see, the Unicorn of Scotland in the back, they have much lower mintage numbers than, say, the 2 ounces shown in front of it there. So you really want to understand that. And that's something that I do. When I look at Comsco as a mint these days, I'm impressed with their limited mintages. Oftentimes they have some series at 5,000, they have some at 15, they have a bunch at 30 and 40,000 mintages. And I think that those are, if you're paying a premium for those types of bullion pieces, then it makes sense to look at lower mintage that may carry higher value over time. Again, there's no guarantee that any of that will transpire and that you'll end up further ahead in the game of stacking. But it's just something, again, that you want to look at. So number 2 on the list, review mintages. Number 3 on my list is to look at secondary market sales, right? So before you go into a series, take a look at other marketplaces, whether it be, let's just say eBay, for example. Check your pricing, look at demand, look at actual sales and listings. Try to understand what's going on with the market of the early releases in the series. And if you're starting something, say, a year late or 2 years late, sometimes that's advantageous because you can see that there's been a significant, rush to the first few coins in the series, and there's some demand and things like that. So there's some hype around the series. Those are always good. You got to be careful around hype, around silver releases. But that's something that you want to look at early day in the secondary market, because that can give you a tell as to how these coins are ultimately going to do 4, 5, 10 years down the road. And if you're stacking and you're doing it for long-term growth, that's something that you should care about today. Okay, so that's number 3, review secondary markets. So let's review the 3 areas that I think you want to be careful of so you don't get stuck in this little situation that I'm in. One, you want to understand the plans of the series and what is going to be released and what your ultimate investment would be. Number 2, look at the mintages, because those do count and they do matter on the secondary market. The more exclusive the series is, the more demand that could be driven up and ultimately a higher price that you can sell these things for. And third is to keep an eye on that secondary market early on in a series release, just to see what's going on from a price standpoint and demand standpoint in that secondary market. So guys, I hope this was helpful. This would have been good advice for me to hear before I went in, I would say, half-heartedly into this queensbeast series. Beautiful series. I'm not ripping on it. I just lost steam. So you want to avoid that, guys. So this has been another episode of Bullion Breakdown. I really hope you enjoyed this content. If you do, hit like, subscribe. Think about putting on notifications so you can check out content the moment it's launched. And I really do, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate you giving the view here and taking the time to spend with this channel. Until next time, guys, stay awesome.